Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Retro Yugioh, and we've just concluded Team YCS Las Vegas 2024, and Fire King Snake Eyes and Pure Snake Eyes have taken their sole dominance as a Tier 0 deck, taking about 80% representation over top card. However, a lot of players have been playing the decks slightly incorrect. We've seen a little bit of flaws in technical play, so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to improve on that technical play with some combo tutorials. So let's get started. The first combo tutorial I'm going to show you guys is what to do if you have open Snake Eyes Ash and Diabelstar the Black Witch. This is probably the best combo you can do that plays through hand traps. So let's get started. So we're going to do the first combo just stock standard, assuming your opponent has no hand traps. So you're going to start off with normal summon of Snake Eyes Ash. You're going to activate the Snake Eyes Ash, and you're going to add Poplar to hand. You're then going to use the Snake Eyes Poplar effect, added, to special summon itself to the field. Next, we're going to use the Poplar effect on summon to add a Snake Eyes spell trap from our deck to hand. Here we're going to add Divine Temple. Because we already have access to the Black Witch with original, we're going to add the Divine Temple here. Next, you're going to link off the one copy of Poplar into Link Karibo. You're then going to trigger the Poplar effect because it was sent to graveyard to place itself in the spell trap zone. So here is something a lot of people might make a mistake. You want to use Black Witch here first to know if the effect is going through before using Divine Temple, because if your Black Witch gets stopped, it's going to influence what you put in the spell trap zone with Divine Temple, and we will cover that in another combo as well. So keep watching for that. So here we're going to send Poplar to grave to special summon the Black Witch, and then we're going to activate the Black Witch to put original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes onto the field. We're now that we have our Black Witch has gone through, we're going to activate our Divine Temple here, and we're going to use it to place Flamebirch Dragon in our spell trap zone. This essentially means if our opponent does Nibiru us, we have Flamebirch trigger in the spell trap zone. Here we're going to activate original Sinful Spoils to send Link Karibo to the graveyard. This is going to special summon a copy of Jet Synchron. Next, we're going to synchro off the Jet Synchron and the Black Witch for a copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. We're going to use the Borreload Savage Dragon effect to target the Link Karibo Engrave to equip it as a spell trap. And Borreload Savage is going to get one counter. So now that's how we get our first Omni Negate. Your opponent could, in theory, do something like Nibiru, Valor, or Imperm here, which would be kind of weird because they should have done it on one of these effects. But if they do, it's okay. I'll show you guys how to keep playing through this. So we get one negate here. Next, we're going to be using the Snake Eyes Ash effect to send itself and the Flamebirch Dragon to graveyard. We're then going to special summon out Snake Eyes Oak. We're going to use Snake Eyes Oak effect here as Chain Link 2, Flamebirch as Chain Link 1. This is very important because you need to make sure the Flamebirch effect goes through. At this point, it doesn't matter what you target with the Oak, as long as you can resolve the Flamebirch effect. I would probably target the Snake Eyes Ash here with Oak. That way, we avoid them targeting the Jet Synchron with anything silly. So here we're going to resolve those effects, and we're going to get 4 bodies on field. So here's where you see a lot of people make a little bit of a gameplay error, where they sometimes go for the Formula Synchron. At this point, we want to go for the IP Masquerena first, because we want to end on the Formula Synchron, and we want to put the IP Masquerena in the spell trap zone. This will help us play around super poly. Next, we're going to link them off into a Promethean Princess, and we're going to use Promethean Princess effect here to special back our Flamebirch Dragon. Next, we're going to go with our Snake Eyes Oak effect to send itself and Promethean Princess to grave to special summon out any level 1 monster from our deck. I generally go with Snake Eyes Ash here because we want to leave a Poplar in deck for follow-up. Here we're going to use the Jet Synchron by discarding a random card from our hand. Now we're going to use Jet Synchron and Snake Eyes Ash to synchro for Formula Synchron, and we're going to draw one random card with Formula Synchron's effect. Finally, we're going to use Flamebirch Dragon effect to place IP Masquerena in the spell trap zone. And that is our combo. So let's just go through what we have. So we have 3 random cards in hand. These could be a form of non-engine or combo extenders. We have Flamebird Dragon on field that can pull up IP Masquerena to the main monster zone. We have Divine Temple that can pull up IP Masquerena to the main monster zone when our opponent summons. We have Formula Synchron effect. We have a Borreload Savage Negate, which we can synchro into a Baron after we use the Borreload Savage Negate. We have a copy of Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, in the graveyard as interruption. And remember, when Borreload Savage goes to grave, Link Karibo will also go to grave as well, so we can use that to protect ourselves from battle damage. And that's just the best. That's the main combo line. And the main importance of this combo here is that we've set up around super polymerization. So now I want to show you what happens if your opponent has Nibiru in the first combo. So we're at the same point here where we've just summoned out the Jet Synchron. This is 5 summons, so our opponent could in theory Nibiru us here. But don't Nibiru here if you have it, because the Borreload Savage is still an extra deck, so you could get to the exact same board with a Selene on field, and then Selene is able to snowball you into more advantage. So we're going to wait till they summon the Borreload Savage. That's the most opportunistic time to Nibiru. So we're going to summon out a copy of Borreload Savage. We're going to declare its effect, and our opponent is going to have Nibiru the Primal Being, clearing our board and giving us a token. Here we're able to trigger the Divine Temple because a monster was special summoned by our opponent, just summoned by our opponent. So we're able to bring the Flamebird to the main monster zone. Here we're going to link off the token and the Flamebird Dragon to special summon an IP Masquerena, and then we're going to be able to trigger our Flamebird Dragon effect. We're going to use the Flamebird Dragon to bring back our Snake Eyes Ash, which, very important, this is the one you must get because we have not used the effect of it yet. We're then going to link off the Jet Synchron and the IP Masquerena for a copy of Promethean Princess. Princess is going to bring back the copy of Flamebird's Dragon. Then we're going to use Snake Eyes Ash to send Promethean and itself to the graveyard to special summon out Snake Eyes Oak. Here we are able to use the Oak effect to special back the Jet Synchron. We're then able to synchro them both together for Formula Synchron. Formula is able to give us 1 random draw. Flamebird effect here to pull IP Masquerena to the Spell Trap Zone. So let's just go over what we have. So our opponent has a Nibiru with 5 other cards in hand. We have 4 random cards in hand. These could all be non-engine. If our opponent decides to go straight to battle phase here to try and clear off the Formula Synchron, we just go Formula Synchron effect here, see if they have a response. Then we go chain Flamebird as Chainlink 2 to bring IP up to the main monster zone. We get to make a Baron, and then we'll be able to pull out with the Flamebird. We'll be able to pull out Oak and Ash, which means Oak will be able to special summon back the Poplar. We'll be able to search follow up with Ash. You'll have Promethean Princess in the grave. You'll have a Baronne de Fleur on the field. You'll have IP Masquerena. You're able to then tribute off the Poplar to use the Poplar effect to put the Flamebird back in the Spell Trap Zone. So if your opponent does summon, you get that extra resource back, or when they summon. You'll then be able to use IP Masquerena effect to then link off itself and 1 other monster into a copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight can deal with a Nibiru whenever you choose, or you can hold it for something else because you'll have Link Karibo. Just a plethora of different forms of interaction, essentially invalidating your opponent's Nibiru here. In this combo, I'm going to show you what you do when your 1 copy of Black Witch gets negated via Effect Failure, Infinite Impermanence, or maybe Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. So we're going to start off by using the Black Witch by sending Poplar. This is exactly the same as the first combo. The only difference is Black Witch is going to get stopped here. And we activate Black Witch, but it gets stopped for whatever reason. Well, then we're going to activate the copy of Divine Temple of the Snake Eye to place a copy of Oak. So that's the difference this time. We're going to play Oak in the Spell Trap Zone. We're then going to use the copy of Ash, sending itself, and the copy of Oak to the graveyard to special out the Flamebird's Dragon. We're then going to use the Flamebird Dragon and the Black Witch to link off into an IP Masquerena. Our Flamebird Dragon is going to trigger here to bring out 2 more bodies, including the Oak, and we're going to use the Oak effect to bring back the Poplar from grave. We're then going to link off the Poplar and the IP Masquerena here for a copy of Promethean Princess, and then we're going to use the Princess effect to bring back the Flamebird. We're now going to use Flamebird effect to put IP Masquerena back in the spell trap zone. We're going to, at this point, link off the Promethean Princess and the Link Karibo for a copy of Hida. Now it might seem weird that we're doing this while our opponent has no fire monsters in grave, but that's because we need to get rid of the fire locked restriction. So now we're going to link off the 2 Snake Eyes monsters and the Hida to make a 3 material Appaloosa. So in this combo line, our opponent was able to stop our Black Witch, and we're still able to set up a very similar board. So we've got a 3 negate Appo. We've got IP Masquerena, which can be summoned back through either the Flame Birch or the Divine Temple. We also have Promethean Princess and Link River in the graveyard, so this represents many more interactions. Additionally, we have 3 other cards in our hand, which could always be hand traps or other form of non-engine disruption. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the 1-card Snake Eyes Ash combo to help you play around the most amount of potential interaction your opponent might have. So we're going to start off by normal summoning Snake Eyes Ash. We're going to activate the effect to search Poplar to hand. We're then going to use the Poplar effect because it was added to hand to special summon it. Then we're going to activate the Poplar effect on summon to search Divine Temple. This might seem a little strange, why would we not want to search for original Sinful Spoils here, but Divine Temple actually helps us play through more of our opponent's potential interaction. So here we're going to activate Divine Temple, and we're going to place a copy of Snake Eyes Oak in the spell trap zone. The reason we place Snake Eyes Oak here is because we want to be able to get back our Snake Eyes Oak by putting Flamebird on the field here. So I'll just show you. So we're going to now activate Snake Eyes Ash, sending itself and Oak to grave to special summon out a copy of Flamebird Dragon. Now we're going to link off both Flamebird and Poplar for IP Masquerena. And very important here, we're able to activate both Flamebird and Poplar. It's very important that you use Flamebird Chainlink 1 and Poplar Chainlink 2 target Flamebird Dragon. This is because if you use Flamebird as Chainlink 2, you could get hit by a potential Ghost Bell, which would mean then you're not able to resolve your effective Flamebird Dragon. So we place Flamebird in the spell trap zone and we bring back Ash and Oak. Very important Oak because we haven't used its effect to summon from deck yet. Now we're going to trigger Oak effect to special back Poplar. Now at this point, our opponent can use Nibiru on us. And if they do, it's completely fine because Temple will allow us to special back the Flamebird Dragon into the main monster zone. We'll have 1 token, and then what we can do with that is we can put IP in the spell trap zone. If you place IP in the spell trap zone, you can then use Flamebird effect to pull it into the main monster zone, and then use that to link into, say, an SP Little Knight, which would give you more forms of interaction. But let's say they didn't do that. We're going to now link off the Poplar for a copy of Link Karibo. Then we were able to link off all 3 of our monsters. We're leaving the Oak up to make a 3 material Appaloosa, which will be a 2400 attack. We're now able to use the Oak effect, sending itself to grave with the Flamebird Dragon to special summon out our 2nd copy of Flamebird Dragon. We'll then use the effect of Flamebird Dragon to place IP Masquerena in the spell trap zone. So this is all off of 1 Snake Eyes Ash. We have 3 material Appo negate. If our opponent summons a monster, we're then able to pull the IP Masquerena into the main monster zone. We're able to use IP Masquerena at any point to link off to make a copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight creates more forms of interaction. We then get to trigger back our Flamebird Dragon, which will bring back your Ash and your Oak, which can then add you a copy of Snake Eyes Ash for follow-up next turn, as well as Oak bringing out the Poplar. Poplar effect can then trigger to give you another It then gives you original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes from deck, and you're also able to get Link Karibo engraved to trigger that, which can then tribute off the Poplar to then place a Flamebird Dragon back in the spell trap zone. So this is a lot of interaction just from one Snake Eyes Ash. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what happens if you only open one Diabelstar, the Black Witch. So first off, we're going to start by using Diabelstar by sending one of the random cards in our hand. Next, we are going to activate the effect of Black Witch to set the original Sinful Spoils. Then we're going to use the original Sinful Spoils by sending Black Witch to the grave to special summon Snake Eyes Ash. We then use Snake Eyes Ash effect to add Snake Eyes Poplar to our hand, and we are able to special summon Poplar onto the field. We then activate Poplar to get Divine Temple, and then we activate Divine Temple, and we're going to place Snake Eyes Oak here. So Snake Eyes Oak actually in a spell trap zone is more important here, so we can end on more forms of interruption. So now we're going to activate Snake Eyes Ash effect by sending Snake Eyes Oak to the graveyard to special out Flamebird Dragon. We're then going to link off the Flamebird and the Poplar into a copy of IP Masquerena. We're now going to activate Flamebird effect as Chain Link 1, very important Chain Link 1, so we can play around Ghost Spell, or the potential of Ghost Spell, and Chain Link 2 Poplar targeting the Flamebird. So now we get essentially the same board we had before, and on summon we're able to trigger the Oak effect to bring back the Poplar. So this is essentially the same point, but because we have Black Witch in the grave, we're actually able to do something a little bit different here. So first off, we're going to go to Link Karibo. Then we get to make Promethean Princess. Now we get to go Promethean Princess effect to bring back the Snake Eyes Poplar because it's the only fire in grave. However, at this point, we're going to now link these two off into a heater. Now this might seem weird if our opponent has no fires in grave, but it's actually quite not. So what we do now is we link off the heater and the ash. Make sure, very important, leave your oak face up because you have not used the effect yet. We get to make Selene. And the reason we make Selene here is because we have 1, 2, 3 spells. So we're now able to use Selene to get 3 counters, which will bring back the copy of Black Witch, and then we're able to link off Black Witch and Selene into a 2-material Appaloosa. Next, we're able to use the Snake Eyes Oak effect, sending itself and Flamebird to the grave to special summon out our second copy of Flamebird. Then we're able to use Flamebird effect to place the IP Masquerena in our spell trap zone. So why this is better than just the Snake Eyes Ash combo is because it ends on the same board essentially, but we have a Promethean Princess in grave, and we were only able to do that because of Black Witch getting us that 3rd spell in grave. So again, it's a little bit different because the Appo is only on 2 negates instead of 3, but this is functionally better, so we don't have to play into Talons as hard. So if they go Talons, take something, it's not as bad. Additionally, we have Promethean Princess, which can then destroy to bring back, so it's another form of interruption. IP can make SP Little Knight, we get 2 bodies back, we get to add up follow-up, just an overall very good combo here. So now we're going to go over what happens if you only open one Snake Eyes Poplar and that is your only card. So first off, you're going to normal summon the Snake Eyes Poplar and you're going to activate the effect to search original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes. You're then going to link off the 1 copy of Poplar for a copy of Link Karibo, and you're going to trigger the Poplar effect to place itself back in the spell trap zone. You're now going to activate original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes by sending the Poplar to grave to special summon out a copy of Snake Eyes Oak. You're going to activate the Oak effect to bring the Poplar back from grave. You're now going to use Oak effect here to send itself and Link Karibo to special summon Snake Eyes Ash from deck. You're going to activate the copy of Snake Eyes Ash effect to search you a second copy of Poplar, and then you're going to use Poplar effect to special summon. Now, if you play Snake Eyes Birch, you can just search Birch here instead and leave another copy of Poplar in the deck, but we aren't playing Birch, so we're going to use Poplar here. You're then going to use the copy of Snake Eyes Ash, sending itself and a single Poplar to the grave to special summon out Flamebird Dragon. You're then going to link off Flamebird Dragon and Poplar to summon IP Masquerena. You're then going to trigger the effect of Flamebird Dragon, bringing back 2 level 1s from the graveyard. You're then going to link off the IP Masquerena and one of your 2 bodies, you specialed off the Flamebird, into a copy of Promethean Princess. you now use Promethean Princess effect to bring back a copy of Flamebird's Dragon from the graveyard. You're now going to link off the the Promethean Princess and the Snake Eyes Ash to bring out a copy of Raging Phoenix, but we're going to link that Raging Phoenix straight off into World Sea Dragon Zelantis. You're now going to use the Flamebird's Dragon effect to put IP Masquerena in the spell trap zone. And finally, you're going to use Zelantis to banish itself to reposition your monsters. So this is obviously one of the worst combos you can have, as it does lose to almost everything. However, it's still a 1-card combo and you have 4 other cards in hand, which could all be non-engine. On your opponent's turn, you're able to use the Flamebird here just to pull the IP into the main monster zone. You're able to quick link it off, and then you're able to link into something like an SP Little Knight, which will then give you 2 level 1s as well on the field, which would then allow you to search follow up with the Poplar in its form of Divine Temple. You have the Promethean Princess in Grave, you have Link able to protect from battle. Just a lot of good options here still to give you follow up, as well as a board presence and cards in hand. What happens if you get hit by a Dimension Shifter? So we're going to start off our turn here, and our opponent is going to go Dimension Shifter on us. We'll start by normal summoning Snake Eyes Ash, and we're going to activate the effect to search out a copy of Snake Eyes Poplar from deck. We're now going to declare the effect of Poplar, because it was added from deck to hand, to special summon it. And on summon, we're going to use Poplar effect here to add a copy of Divine Temple of the Snake Eyes. So what we're going to do here is, I know it's going to seem weird, but we're just going to link these 2 monsters off for a copy of IP Masquerena. We're going to activate Divine Temple of the Snake Eyes, and we're going to place a copy of Snake Eyes Oak into our spell trap zone. So we're going to have 4 other cards in hand here. We're going to have IP Masquerena, and as soon as our opponent decides to summon a monster, what we're able to do here is we're able to go Divine Temple to pull up the Oak to the main monster zone. We're going to be able to use the Oak effect here to bring back one of our 2 monsters here. I would generally go for a copy of Snake Eyes Ash here. And then we're going to use Snake Eyes Ash to search a following copy of Snake Eyes Ash. So what that will allow us to do is that'll allow us to have follow up on the subsequent turn, as well as we have IP Masquerena effect here that can go into any of your options. So you have an option of SP Little Knight, you have an option of Nightmare Phoenix if they're playing back row, you can go into Appaloosa, and that's how one Snake Eyes Ash can essentially set up through Dimension Shifter and give you a bunch of follow up for the next turn. So realistically, Dimension Shifter, not that big of an issue, but this is what you can do to play through. And that's going to be it for me today, guys. Let me know if there's any more combos you want to see that I didn't cover. This deck has a lot of alternate lines where, depending on what you open, you can change the complete direction you're taking to get to your end board. But just let me know what you guys want to see down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that like button, it helps out. And if you aren't it already and you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. I'm Retro Yugioh, and I'll see you guys next time.